Hello everyone, and welcome to another teardown video. This is the ASSA D12, as you can see. This lock has a couple of features. The first thing you'll note is a very sharp edge in the keyway. This makes picking extremely hard, because some of the pins need to be set right at this little ledge right here. And that makes sure that you cannot just grab a pick under a pick like this. There's simply the shaft on the pick needs to be non-existent for that to work. So it's got a very nasty keyway. The second thing you note is that the pins in this thing here are extremely small. Just take a look at that. Well, they are actually standard ASSA size. They go about this long, and only about half of the pin is protruding into the lock, allowing for a more extreme keyway. The key on this lock looks like this. As you can see, it's got the D12 profile, sort of D-like profile. And you'll note that this key has a lot of cuts. Here's a standard key for reference. Now, unfortunately, there are not pins stacked besides each other. There are actually chisel tips on the key pins, allowing for very effective master keying without the use of master wafers. All of these locks are made with extremely high tolerances. And work very, very well. And this is a drill protected D12, but they're all the same. Let's go and get this thing gutted now. First of all, you need to remove a set screw on the back. Tarehjerne have their own patent for the D12s, with enforced zero lifts on pin number 2. These, as far as I know, do not have it. As you can see, this one here has a zero lift on pin number 2. Excuse me, a high lift on pin number 2 and zero lift on pin number 1. The Tarehjerne you'll always find zero lift on pin number 2. And the second thing that you need to do is removing this thing right here. These things are a little bit weird to gut because you have this big tail base here, and that works with the door or deadbolt. I'm gonna screw out this thing here now. You should try to keep your finger over the holes while doing this, because the springs will fly out. Here are the springs. Let's take this out. These are all standard ASSA springs. Very nicely made, stainless steel, very long lasting springs. In salty conditions, these are pretty much the only springs that is going to last for a long period of time and still be good springs. So that's 6 springs. Next thing we can do now is screw this thing here out. This is actually the piece that's holding the lock in place. And now you can see the lock is ready to be gutted. So let's insert this thing here, keep the finger over, turn it around so that the drivers will not fall in here, and just push. See, no, not everything is going. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Alright, got that done. Just gonna put that down for now. And now we can take a look at the interesting part, which is the plug. I'm gonna take the key back out now. You'll notice that these holes here have a little cutout on the side, on each of them. This corresponds with a little wing on the key pin. Let me take that out to show you. Grab some tweezers. Here we are. So these are the wings. And they make sure that the key pin will not rotate like this. That is important because, as you can see, we have weird tips on these. I'm just going to grab the key back. These tips will align with the part of the key. In this case, it is right here. Now, when you have a master key, the master key is obviously different. So if you were to have a master key, it could probably be engaging like this. Or you can have it engage sort of like this, or like this. There are very many possibilities in this, but it does allow for master keying without using master wafers. Let me drop the rest of these things are out now, which appear to be a little bit sticky. Just gonna grab this pick under it and trying to lever it up. There we are. Oops. These key pins are all stainless steel, very hard to drill through, and very corrosion resistant. Let's go, there we are. Now, this is a feature for the higher security lock, which is actually a little bit ironic, because this pin here is easier to pick than all the others. And that is because we have bitting here on the side. This can either be for pin number 5 or 6, but never on both. As you can see, here it is on number 6. And this pin here will engage right here, in the sense that it will go through the entire warding. Just going to take this pin out now. As you can see, this is very different from the others. First of all, you'll see that it's completely flat here. And this is to allow the key to go through. It has, of course, got the chisel tip and the wing sight. This is actually because lock stores do not sell these keys here completely blank on the side. If they were to sell blank keys, they are either filed down or have bitting in them, presumably for preventing people making bump keys. Though they will not tell. Anyways, let's get the drivers out now. Let's just arrange this. Put that here. Oops. That is a barrel spool, as you'll see. You can probably just get them all out like this. Let's see now. One is a barrel spool. Two is also a barrel spool. Notice how they're all the same length. Sometimes in the better locks, they're not the same length, simply because if you have a very long key pin with a very long barrel spool, the spring will be exercised a lot when using the lock, which will ultimately lower the lifetime of the spring, therefore lowering the lifetime of the lock. Another feature of this plug is the fine countermilling. Differently from GIN countermilling, this will not lock the pins in place, so they do not require float picking. However, with GIN pins you can get feedback. There are no feedback of any kind with these barrel spools. But as said, feedback and picking the pins, that is not really an issue in the D12. The real issue comes from maneuvering this keyway. As you can see, this is 25 thousandths, very standard shaft. Has no way of doing this. I actually have made a pick for this with a very, very sharp point right here in 20 thousandths that is supposed to get in under this little cutaway here, because it's that thin, and rotate to lift up the pin into the correct position. Let's talk about picking this thing here actually. If you were to use one of these barrels ASSA D12 hooks, as many people do, here's one in 15 thousandths. 15 thousandths, oh, it's hard to see on the camera. It is 15 thousandths anyways, very flexible. You can do it. However, when you go in and try and set one that's fairly high, you will have to rotate this shaft. What happens then is that it will overset all the others. The way you get around that is, unsurprisingly, by using a steeper hook. This is the ASSA D12 medium hook, about the largest thing you can find in this keyway. What you do is that you force this thing here around the wording, bending it, and forcing up the pin. However, that will result in the thing here being pinched and removing your feedback. So this is a very, very difficult lock to pick for sure, and a very good lock for security without costing a whole lot of money. As you can see, there's no trickery in this with sidebars or anything, just a very, very nicely made keyway. The housing, as you'll see on this thing here, is actually the exact same housing that is used on a whole range of locks. As you can see, it has the sidebar groove, but it does not have a sidebar. As you will see in the plug, there's no room for a sidebar in this plug. So that has been the ASSA D12 teardown. Let's give you a close-up of the pins. Thank you a lot for watching.